guys, welcome into Jewel School. My name is Laura and today we're doing a turquoise triple strand bracelet and we're going to be focusing on crimping techniques. Today we're going to do a little triple strand bracelet. It's really cute, really easy, but it's going to be mostly a crimping demo. So if you struggle to crimp, I am going to kind of share my tips and tricks with you on crimping. It's real easy, just a little triple strand bracelet, but I incorporated just a little bit of chain in there just to kind of give it a little bit of edge, a little something different. So if you like this pattern, go ahead and take a screenshot of it, or take a picture of it with your phone. This one I did every other bead with some of those large hole beads, and then this little strand I did every one of those, they're kind of like a stardust texture beads, every third turquoise. So grab that if you want to copy this bracelet. Really easy. So we've got some turquoise nuggets, we've got our 4mm turquoise rounds, we have got our large hole spacer beads, we've got our little stardust beads here, and we've got some chain. I'm using the turquoise soft flex. We have tons of colored soft flex on jtv.com, and I use the turquoise color for this, obviously. And it's a, you know, using a beading wire that matches your beads is another way to kind of elevate your piece and kind of make it look a little bit more intentional, like you put thought into even the things that most people don't pay attention to, like the stringing wire. And so it just kind of elevates it a little bit as well. And then tool-wise, I've got my flush cutter, I've got my crimping tool, and then I've got a pair of chain nose pliers. These pliers are part of the set that I have in the show for you. It's my favorite set of tools. It's the Ergo tool set. Comes in this really cool Jewel School case, but it's a huge, really comprehensive tool set. So if you're looking for tools, if you don't love your tools, if they hurt your hands, this is your solution, these Ergo tools. So let's get into the demo. I went ahead and I strung this stuff because I figured you guys didn't really want to watch too much of that. One thing that I did on this one, since I've got the bigger nuggets and kind of those large hole spacers, I capped off the ends with these little stardust beads. That kind of ties in the beads from the other strand, but it also gives you like a nice taper back towards your clasp. It can make, if you don't have like a good taper towards your clasp, like a smaller bead, it can kind of be hard to get your fingers in there, get a good grip on your clasp when you're trying to put it on. So make sure you have like something small up against your crimp bead to kind of scale that down a little bit and just make it a little bit easier to use. And so I couldn't make it work size-wise with just one stardust bead, so I had to take a piece of turquoise off and then do 2 stardust beads. But if you can make it work sizing-wise, I think it looks pretty with just the one there as well, like that. So that's an important thing to think about when you are crimping things, is like what's close to your crimp bead or your clasp. That way, when you're finished and you're going to put it on, you're not trying to get your fingers around a big chunky bead. That can just make it a lot harder to put on. So something to think about while you're working. For my clasp, I just did a Lobster Claw clasp, and because I'm doing 3 pieces attached to my Lobster Claw, I did an additional jump ring to give myself like extra room to attach my chain and everything, and enough, and I wanted that I need another plier real quick. Like I want that jump ring that's part of the clasp to be on its own. I don't want to attach a bunch of strands to this jump ring. I want to attach them to this little jump ring that's in between. That way this is kind of like its own standalone jump ring and you're not fighting against bead strands when you're trying to put your clasp on. Another little trick that just makes it a little bit easier when you go to put it on later. So that is that end of the clasp, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with this end, because on this lobster claw, you've got a itty bitty little hole there, so tiny, and that would be, one, I don't think I could attach the chain to that, and two, it would be so crowded if you tried to attach a bunch of strands of soft flex to that. So just add a jump ring to ease that little transition there. So I'm gonna attach both of these to the ends of my chain, and now all I have to do is crimp. So just make sure you're getting your jump rings closed nice and tight, because this soft flex is so thin, you don't want your soft flex to slide out of an opening in your jump ring. So just make sure you're getting that closed nice and tight. Okay, so I've got my first strand here, and like I said, I did 3 turquoise, stardust, 3 turquoise, cute little pattern. You don't need I just wanted just kind of like a little pop of metallic. I wanted to tie the gold into all the strands, so I just added a little pop there. And I like kind of the different finishes. So we've got this little dusty kind of stardust finish, we've got a polish finish, and then on this one we've got sort of a polish, but we've got a texture there too. So it kind of brings a bunch of different finishes and textures into the bracelet. Okay, so let's start by crimping one end. Normally I would have a bead stopper. So I'm gonna just put this little bead stopper on here. These are available on jtv.com too. If you don't have bead stoppers, oh, it's gonna change your life. So then you just pinch that on there and it holds your beads on there, and doesn't get in the way of anything either. Okay, so we're gonna grab a crimp bead. If you don't know what a crimp bead is, these little baby tubes that you slide on the end of your bead, and we're gonna fold them kind of into a C shape around our wire so that it holds our clasp on. So we're gonna slide our crimp bead on to our wire. We're gonna grab one side of our bracelet, and we're going to slide our wire through that little jump ring, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna double back on itself, back through that crimp bead, like that. Give yourself just a little bit of room, not too much. I don't want a huge loop there because that's gonna change the size of your bracelet more than you think. If you do too big of a loop there, and then you've got too big of a loop on the other side, you're looking at adding like 1/2 inch to almost an inch sometimes of length to your bracelet. So make sure you don't want it too tight. You don't want to pull your crimp bead all the way up next to your jump ring, because then it's gonna kink up. And you're not going to have nice movement there in your clasp, and that can make putting it on difficult too. A good rule of thumb is about like a 5mm loop right there kind of at the end. So keep it small, but not so small that your bracelet doesn't have good movement to it. So then we're going to go in with our our crimping tool. If you don't have a crimping tool, this is one of the most foundational tools in making jewelry. This is how you're gonna make your strung necklaces and bracelets. You can do rings, you can do earrings, all kinds of stuff, but this is your crimping tool. It's got two, it's gonna blend in with my dress. You've got two grooves on this side. The first groove, the first crimp we're gonna do is gonna be in the groove closest to your hand. So the one back here, that little one right there. And that is gonna start the fold. So we're gonna do that first, and then we're gonna rotate it, our crimp bead, and we're gonna crimp it. We're gonna finish it off in the groove up front, closest to the front of the plier right there. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll grab our crimp bead with our tool, and I've got it back in that back groove there, and we're just gonna give it a squeeze. And you see that C shape it's made? It has started the fold. Now we're gonna rotate it 90 degrees. I'm gonna put it in the front groove, and it's gonna finish it off. See how it just folded that in half? Perfect. And now we're gonna go in with a really, really, really awesome pair of flush cutters. This is critical. These are critical for making jewelry in general, but especially for cutting things like stringing wire. Stringing wire can be deceivingly hard to cut. I know it looks soft and like it would be easy to cut, but it's got those stainless steel wires on the inside. It's got a core of stainless steel braided stainless steel wires on the inside, and those are very hard to cut. So having a good, nice, really sharp pair of flush cutters is hugely important. This is plier 61. Look that up on jtv.com if you don't have one. This is gonna make your life a lot easier. And you wanna crimp, you wanna cut your extra tail right down on your crimp bead as close as you can get it. I don't want any extra wire sticking out because it can poke you, it can grab onto your clothes, just can be really, really frustrating. So having a good pair of cutting tools is huge. All right, we're gonna do the other side. We're gonna drop our crimp bead on again. We're gonna come grab our bracelet. We're gonna slide this through the jump ring on the other end. We're gonna come back through our crimp bead, and then we're just gonna pull the slack out of it. So I want this to still have some nice drape, some nice movement to it. So I don't wanna pull it so tight that this is really rigid, because this is gonna pop off your wrist kind of. I want it to have kind of the same amount of movement as my chain. I want them to kind of flow together really nicely. So that's one thing to keep an eye out for while you are pulling that tight, is making sure you're not pulling it too tight or too loose. You don't want a big gap, because that can look messy, and it can also, it just creates kind of another place in your bracelet to snag on something. So we're gonna do a crimp in the back groove. We're gonna rotate it, finish that off in the front groove. And then again, we're gonna go in with our flush cutters and get as close down to our crimp bead as we can. And then clip that off. That's just pretty like that. I like how it just kind of, oh man, I like that together. Okay, we're gonna do our next one, and that will be it. Okay, I'm gonna use my bead stopper again that I worked so hard for. And we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna add a crimp bead. We're gonna grab our jump ring. Got that on there. Double back. One thing also that's important when you're crimping, when you're doing your first crimp, make sure you're leaving a lot of wire. You don't need to pull you don't need this first crimp, you don't need to pull that slack out. Leave that, because it's gonna give you enough room when you flip it to the other side, it's gonna give you enough room to work with. So don't worry about pulling this side taut. You don't need to, and it's gonna make it very hard to have enough wire to double back on your, through your crimp bead. So just leave that, don't even worry about it right now. And now we're gonna go and do our crimp again. Rotate it, finish it off. See that seam right there that we've made? That's what you wanna see. That's how you know you've folded it correctly, and you've got enough tension on those wires now that it's not gonna come loose. If you don't have a good fold there, eventually your wires are gonna slip through that crimp bead, and your whole bracelet's gonna come undone. Sometimes I will even go back with my chain nose pliers and really close that off. Like if I don't feel like I got a solid crimp, I'll go back in with my pliers and give that a pinch and just really close that off. Because there's nothing worse than making a beautiful bracelet and then it all comes undone because your crimp isn't crimped. Now we can drop this down to the other side, and we're gonna finish this bad boy off. Oh, I guess I need a crimp bead. All right. I liked kind of the mix of like this strand of the turquoise, these nuggets, they're more of like the green tone, but when you mix it with a hube strand, like these little guys, you pull the greens out and you also add a little pop of like the true turquoise, that true turquoise color. But I liked mixing them together. That's the great thing about hube turquoise, is you can mix it with any other turquoise variant because the hube has a little bit of everything. And so it just goes with everything. Again, make sure we're not getting too tight here as we are pulling our crimp taut. And now we want to go in again with our crimping tool, crimp that, rotate it, and finish off the fold. And then go in, snip that extra tail, and there you have a really fun, cute little like layering bracelet. I love how this all just kind of sits together and they kind of crisscross over it. You can give it a little twist if you want. I'm gonna get this bracelet strand up here. And so instead of trying to put it on me, I'm gonna put it on this so you guys can get a good look at it. And they just kind of drape really nicely over each other, lay nicely together, and I like the variation of sizing in there. And again, adding that chain in there, I think just adds like a little bit of edge to the piece. Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed today's demo. If you need any of the tools and supplies that we use today, check out the links in the description below. And while you're down there, I want to know what's your favorite variant of turquoise. Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any future videos. Bye y'all.